afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with myself, Chef Vic, and my handy kitchen hand, Jack Duplessis. We are part of the Queen Cooking Program, and we are here to teach you at home more about going about in your kitchen and also a bit of kitchen safety. And in the same process, you get to learn a little bit more about food and how to move in and around the kitchen when your parents or your guardian is looking after you during the cooking process. Now today, Jack, do you remember what we're cooking today?
Yes.
What are we doing? Please tell me.
A chicken schnitzel.
All right, so crumb chicken fillet. And for you, or for anybody who's not using protein for this particular part of the process, you can obviously substitute that with any vegetable of your liking. Some vegetables cook better than others. I would recommend something like maybe aubergine or a cauliflower or maybe a broccoli steak in itself. Basically, what we are going to do, we will crumb our chicken fillet or your vegetarian option with basic almond flour, then also a almond meal. The one is a bit coarser than the other. And we're going to dust that, throw it in our pan, and voila, we have a simple and finished product. So there's quite a few steps we need to follow today. So please, if you haven't done so already, make sure you have a pan ready on the stove. I'm actually in the process already gonna put my pan on, but I'm not gonna turn it up high. So that is just gonna be low and simmering. There we go. I just want my pan on a medium heat. I just want my pan on a medium heat. So while we're doing this on the whole entire process, we have enough time to just simply put our crumb protein or vegetable option in the pan, and that should help or speed up our cooking process. You will also need some flour, plain flour or almond meal as per the recipe, and then also, or almond flour, apologies, and then almond meal. Almond meal is a lot more coarser, and that would be equivalent to a bread crumb or panko crumb. Then some chicken fillets that I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Some Parmesan. I'm using avocado oil, but olive oil or sunflower oil is fine. We're going to use an Italian mixed herb. That is just to add extra flavor. And we're going to use dairy. If you are lactose intolerant or have issues with any form of dairy, please substitute the milk with either water or a nut-based milk. Jackpot, are you ready?
Yes.
Of course you're ready, because you're standing here wobbling around like a wobbly toy. So we're going to start off by separating all our stuff. So we're going to start with the clean stuff in theory. Oh, I did skip that. We need an egg as well. But we're going to go through this process, so don't worry. Just make sure you got all your ingredients as per the recipe. So to start with, we are going to do our step one. That is grab our bowls. So we're going to actually work backwards. But please put our almond meal or your breadcrumb in our plate. Done. And that is our final step. Simple as that. Then, oops, we need our almond. No, Victor, you are not concentrating, especially if you're telling our friends we're working backwards. I don't know how to work backwards anymore. Jack, if you can please crack our egg. The aim here, guys, is to make sure you've got a nice little crack in the middle, even through, and then get your thumbs right in the middle of that little crack. Yep, in here, boy. And simply pull it open. Remember, the aim is to pull it open, not to squish it open, because if you squish with the other hands, you're just going to break the entire shell. It's going to go all in your food. That would not be nice. Then we need our trusty whisk. Hang on, Mr. Moo. We're going to use milk, but if you don't want to use milk, again, nut milk or some water will be perfect. I'm just going to take that out of our shot. Okay, come on, Mr. Moo. You've got to whisk that. It doesn't have to be whisked all the way through. Remember, this is just to coat our protein or our vegetable. Leave that. Move this here. Dun, dun, dun. Step 2, done. Then our starting one is to add our almond meal. Or, sorry, I keep on getting this mixed up. Almond flour or plain flour. Not all of it. Definitely don't need that much. That's enough, Mr. Move. Alright, cool. Now guys, we have got our basic crumbing processes. Before we move on to that, Jack, we've got our basic crumbing processes done. The big thing here is this is all very bland right now. So the only way to add flavor to blandness is to either add something like a Parmesan. That will give it immediately some salty flavor and also some extra flavor. Then we're using the Italian herb. That is again another form of adding flavor. And then obviously your basic stuff, salt and pepper. Alright, cool. Mr. Moo, let's put some salt into our flour. You playing around with that. Nice bit of salt in there. I'm going to add a bit of salt in there. And I'm going to get our grater, Jack. Oh, but kids, what do I always tell you, Jack?
Not to play with the grater.
Yeah, we don't play with it. I don't think we should play with any kitchen utensils, especially when we're talking about things like knives and hot pans and anything that's on the small side. So Jack is going to do this because he often helps me with that. And remember, we want to go down, go there. Just remember your finger there. And on the small part of the grater, not the smallest one, just you get the big side and the smallest side in most graters. But this is just to have our Parmesan nice and fine enough so that we can just add it with our flour, with our crumb or our nut or your almond meal. And that is actually just going to, again, add a bit of flavor.
Oh.
Oopsie. So let me get on with that.
Broken cheese.
Okay. How about you add our oh, look at that. Parmesan, perfect. Yeah. We're going to eat all our produce, Mr. Lou. Okay. So you're going to have this little lump.
Yeah.
I'm going to add my grated Parmesan with my crumb or my almond meal.
Ouch.
That's all right, boy. Don't need to don't pick it up. Okay, so we are ready and we're going to add some of our Italian herb with our flour. Not too much, just a bit more. I know you get quite excited, that's enough.
I don't.
So, everybody, our preparation is done and that is the hardest part of the job. The next part is how to flatten your chicken. And what we're going to do is, as you can see, we've got a Ziploc and a kitchen mallet. And the reason why we use that is we're going to put our chicken in the Ziploc, we're just going to smash it, or bash it with our hammer, with our kitchen mallet. If you do not have a mallet, a rolling pin will work just fine. If you do not have a rolling pin, empty bottle, meaning a glass-based bottle, that will work as well. The bottom of a plate will work, or another pan like this could just work. Remember, my pan is hot. So there's many ways to flatten the process. Obviously, because I'm a chef, I carry a kitchen mallet in my kitchen. So what we're going to do, chicken fillet in our bag. Then with our kitchen mallet, I'll show you, then you can go. This is going to make a lot of noise, so everybody hold your breath. You can do the second one. Okay, pause. No, let me get it. So what you can see is a simple, skinny, about 5 millimeter of chicken. That's step one. I also want to show you another option is to grab a chicken fillet with a sharp kitchen knife. Just pick one of the sides on the length side and literally cut in half. This is called butterflying. And then you just work your knife through it.
Butterflying?
Butterflying. Why? Because just like a butterfly, it butterflies open. And again, same result. So if you do not have a mallet and if you do not want to smash stuff in your kitchen, then butterflying will be your right process. Now Jack is super excited to smash his own chicken.
And
So I'm going
smash the whole bowl.
remember, but we're not being silly billies, because that's how A, we get hurt, and B, how we break something. So again, we're going to make a little bit of noise, but Jack's going.
I just joking.
Yeah, that's because you are being a billy. But that is to show you, my hand is just mixing water. Okay, done. That's enough. We're just going to do 3 for the demonstration. And after we've said goodbye to our friends, you can do another 2 for me. Right, cool.
Yeah, what's that?
What is what? That's a bit of the Parmesan, but we don't need that right now. So, everybody, the moment you have been waiting for, how to crumb your chicken or your piece of vegetable. So, step 1 is, okay, Jack, step 1, we need to put the crumbs on. What then? What is this?
Flour.
Flour, seasoned flour. Okay, can we put our crumb now?
No.
What now? Okay, sorry, the egg. Okay, then the crumb only. And then we got another empty plate. So just hang on. I know you know how to do it. But as you can see, everybody, we have officially got a production line. We start here, we finish there, we finish in the pan actually. So, jackpot, please. Let's go, Mr. Moo.
And this one.
Okay. Whoop. It's fine if you make a little bit mess, because sometimes that is part of cooking. Not to make a mess, but just in the process. Sometimes flour goes on the floor, and that's not a problem. We will clean up afterwards. So the aim is to make sure you've got, just hang on, you've got that chicken fillet completely covered in flour. And now we're transferring it to our egg mix. Again, same process, and make sure everything is well covered. Nice and slow. There we go. And then to our last bit, and that is our crumbing process. Okay, but again, no, flip it. Don't go and clean your hands. Don't clean it, because we've got a bit of crumbing to do. How about you start with the next one? While your hands are dirty, and I'll show our friends our final result. Shake of that last bit, but that is how you make a crumb piece of chicken fillet. Boop. And again, flip it around. Oh, flour needed. Do. Okay, you do the egg part. Won't work. I will.
do it.
Okay, cool. Just make sure all that flour is covered. And it's fine if some of the chicken tears off, it's fine, because we smashed it to smithereens. But that's no problem. Keep on crumbing, then you just have a little extra bit of niceness to eat for your meal, or your dinner, or your lunch. Another one done.
My turn.
All right, mister. At this rate, I reckon we should stick your fingers in the pan, because they're covered so well with the flour. Okay, wait. There we go. That's exactly what you need to do. Take some of the flour, before you jump to the finish line.
And to win the race.
Yeah, but this is not a race, because we are showing and sharing with our friends. We're not trying to run away and beat anyone here. There we go.
Now, can we do a competition?
What competition? Evenly coated into our crumb.
My hands are with them.
What? Okay, let me try this other side. Okay. Ninja Kapinja, how about you go and clean your hands in that basin?
No.
Yeah, you can't cook with those mucky little hands. And there you have it, team. So for those of you cooking live with us, that concludes our crumbing process. Now the nice part is the dirty work is done. Second of all, you can now put this crumbed finished product into your fridge or your freezer. So if you're cooking for grown-ups, if you are cooking this for dinner and you want to get your prep done during the morning or the afternoon, now this part is done. All you need to do is just throw it in the pan. Even if the crumb goes a bit soggy, it's fine, because as soon as it goes in the hot pan with the oil, that will crisp up immediately. So again, handy little tip that. But for now, let's just kind of clean our mess.
And put the egg there.
Put the egg here.
In
Cool.
here.
Just want to get this out of our shot here. My friends don't think we are messy guys. And we're going to use our cloth. Just going to wipe up the last bits and bobs.
Just some bucket, just not a nail.
So would you open the bin for me, Mr. Charlie Chatterbox?
There you go, named Mr. Charlie Farterbox.
Okay. And here we go. Jack's mess is cleaned up.
Not mine.
I would say our mess is cleaned up.
Don't say it's mine, big corner.
Alright, and there you have it. Our first process done. So, like I said earlier, in your hot pan, pull that plate closer to you. In a hot pan, grown-ups, I did a handy one again. If you are cooking with little ones in the kitchen who are quite curious and very excited about what we are doing or when we are going through the cooking processes, or not even with cooking with us, just general at home. If you are cooking with pans especially with handles or pots, try and just turn it away from the area here. The big reason is you might have somebody little who grabs by the handle, and if there's oil or anything hot in the pan, they will probably end up with that on them, and that's the last thing we want. So again, part about having fun in the kitchen is to be super safe in the kitchen. So handy little note or tip in case you see a friend or somebody else that doesn't practice that with little ones around. So I'm going to use avocado oil. The reason why I'm using the avocado oil, also turn the pan heat up please. Also, the reason why we're using avocado oil is it's got a higher smoking point, and the higher smoking point means it can take a lot more heat during the cooking process. So it won't smoke, but it is a lot better cooking with oil that's got a higher cooking point. I'm going to give that a little shake, Jack. Because there's oil in it, I'm going to do this part, okay?
Can I drop this tiny bit in?
Another one, team, is also when you have hot oil in any pan, put whatever you're cooking away from you. So meaning, if you now throw it in this way, the oil will splash potentially on you. But if I put it down like this and drop it, the oil will splash that way. Wait. We're only going to do these two.
Why?
Because we can do that. Just again, make sure your pan is not too hot or too hot. Last thing you want to do is burn the crumb. Okay? And then this is now done for now. Okay? Because we are showing this to our friends. Make sure you move the oil all over the pan.
Even on the chicken.
And the nice part is, because we did turn put your face closer to me in the shot. The reason we smash the chicken nice and flat is the flatter is the easier it will cook, the quicker it will cook. The quicker it will cook, the quicker you have your dinner. So you can hear that it's frying away quite nicely. How about you get us the kitchen tongs while I talk to our friend? Kitchen tongs, very handy to use during this cooking process. If you do not have kitchen tongs, you can use a spatula. But that's entirely depending on what equipment you have to cook with and work with. Yeah, exactly that one, yeah. Wait. Understand here? So what we're going to do is check if our chicken is nice and crispy on the one side. You can help, but I just want you to just calm your farm or hold your horses, because we just want that bottom side of our chicken schnitzel to be nice and crispy with a golden color. Okay? I'm happy with the golden side of my chicken. Okay, you can try the little one. And flip the second one, and Jack wants to do the last one. Okay, remember not to be silly because there's oil and the pan is hot. Okay? Whoop. I think it's safer for me to do this just in the meantime, just until you get control of your tongs. And turn the heat down a little bit, and as soon as that side is done, I'll bring the crumb schnitzel closer to the camera, and this way you get to see exactly how well we cook our chicken. Also, if you do turn the heat down a little bit, obviously it will slow the cooking process down, meaning that you will have a nice crispy outside and obviously not raw chicken on the inside. So, handy thing to remember. If you're in a rush, you can always preheat your oven, say, to about 180 degrees Celsius. And as soon as you flip that over, you can just put your pan straight into the oven and let that cook for another 2 or 3 minutes, and you should be done with your schnitzel.
Ooh.
Oh, this is looking so scrummy, Jack. No, that means so nice. I'm going to turn my heat all the way down because my pan is a bit hotter than normal. So we are almost done during our cooking process. What do you think about the bottom side here, Jack? Oops, oops, oops. That is good. We're going to just flip it over again to the other side. So Jack, if you can stand here, I am just going to move our pan closer to our friends. Remember to turn your heat down or off. Just going to get my camera shot here. And as you can see, that beautiful crispy outside, nice color on both ends. I'm just going to leave this to rest in the pan with my heat off for another minute or so. Probably a minute. I'm going to put it on a little chopping board or plate. And then you can serve it with your favorite side. Whether that be a vegetable, some fruit, or maybe mash, or a sweet potato chip. What do you think? Exactly. So, I'm going to put our crumb schnitzel on a plate.
Is it done?
It is done, done, done.
I will taste it.
Of course you will taste it, but right now, if you had to put that, what will happen if we put some of that schnitzel in your face?
It can burn my face off.
It will not burn your face off, it will burn your mouth quite badly, hey?
And burn your tongue off.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than burning your tongue, because if you do burn your tongue, that means you will lose part of your taste buds, and that is not the fun way to have food, because every time you have something in your mouth, it's going to be sore, it's going to hurt, you might have a blister. So again, once it comes out of the pan, please give it a minute or two to rest or cool down completely, and then only have it with your favorite sauce or side, be it a vegetable or some fruit. But until next time, thank you so much for joining myself, Chef Vic, and my little kitchen hand, Jack Duplessis, in the kitchen exploration program here in our home with the Da Queen program. If you have not had time, please go and check out their website. They've got plenty of handy information on that website, from basic guidance through nutrition for kids from all ages, from very small up to Jack's height and more. All the way down to some seminars about parenting, etc. But plenty of handy information for you to do and share with your friends and people close to you. Until next time, lots of love. Ciao, ciao.